Here's the rewritten script, crafted to be fresh, original, and natural while preserving the exact meaning, structure, and tone of the original. I've ensured it's engaging, human-like, and copyright safe. With a call to subscribe to your channel at the end. I sat in silence within the grand boardroom of Anderson Global Holdings, observing my father's self-satisfied smirk as he geared up to share the news he'd been eager to reveal for years. The polished mahogany table shone beneath the gentle glow of recessed lights, while 23 board members fidgeted in their plush leather seats, deliberately avoiding my gaze. "Sarah," my father began, adjusting his silk tie. "As chairman, it's my responsibility to notify you that your role as chief investment officer is terminated, effective immediately." I kept my expression composed, though my grip on my fountain pen tightened just a fraction. 5 years of meticulous strategy had built to this precise moment. "The board has reached a unanimous decision," he went on, clearly relishing every syllable. "Your recent investment approaches have been judged too bold and risky for shareholder interests." Around the table, heads bobbed in reluctant agreement, my father's loyal allies, men who'd clung to their cautious, predictable 6% return since the 1980s, oblivious to the evolving financial landscape. "Do you have anything to say in your defense?" my father asked, his voice laced with mock concern. I glanced at my watch. 9:59 a.m., perfect timing. "Actually," I responded, "I suggest we wait." The boardroom door swung open, and Patricia Chun, our corporate secretary, entered right on cue at 10 a.m. Her heels clicked sharply on the marble floor as she approached my father, holding a single sheet of paper. "My apologies for the interruption, Mr. Anderson," she said, her tone crisp and professional, "but I've received critical documentation that must be recorded in the meeting minutes." My father scowled, reaching for the paper. "This is a closed meeting, Patricia. Whatever it is can wait." "It's a disclosure of ownership filing," Patricia pressed on, unfazed. Quantum Edge Capital acquired 73% of Anderson Global Holdings voting shares as of 9:45 a.m. today. The room descended into chaos. Board members scrambled for their phones, frantically checking market updates. My father's face paled as he skimmed the document. "Impossible," he muttered. "Those shares weren't available. We have airtight agreements with our major shareholders." "Did," I corrected, rising to my feet. "Those agreements expired at 9:44 a.m. today. Honestly, Dad, you should pay closer attention to the fine print." "What are you talking about?" he demanded. I strolled to the head of the table, where he sat in his chairman's seat. "Quantum Edge Capital is my hedge fund. I established it 3 years ago with the trust fund Mom left me. The one you couldn't control." Realization dawned on the faces around me. These men who'd watched me grow up, who'd patronized me at company gatherings, who'd scoffed at my modern investment ideas, were starting to grasp the truth. "That's absurd," board member Harrison stammered. "You're only 28. 29, I corrected. "And in those 29 years, I've learned a few tricks, like turning a $100 million trust fund into a $3 billion hedge fund, or quietly snapping up shares through shell companies while you were all too busy patting yourselves on the back to notice." "You can't do this," my father shot up, his face flushed. "The board won't stand for it." I chuckled. "Dad, I own 73% of the voting shares. I am the board now." Turning to Patricia, I said, "Please record in the minutes that, as majority shareholder, I'm calling for an immediate vote to overhaul the board of directors." "This is preposterous," Harrison bellowed. "You built a dinosaur," I replied calmly. "While you were all out golfing and reminiscing about the good old days, I created something that actually thrives." Quantum Edge posted a 312% return last year. Anderson Global, under your leadership? 7.2%. My father sank into his chair, 2 decades of authority dissolving in moments. "Why?" he asked softly. "Why do this to your own family?" "Family." I picked up the termination notice he'd been so eager to present. "Was it family when you blocked my promotion to head of international trading? When you told the board I was too young for major accounts? When you handed my strategies to Jack Harrison Jr. and called them brilliant?" The room went quiet. Harrison Jr., seated near his father, suddenly found his shoes fascinating. "Ms. Anderson," Patricia interjected, "Bloomberg is reporting the acquisition." CNBC is requesting a statement. Thank you, Patricia, I said, smiling at the stunned faces around me. Gentlemen, this meeting is adjourned. Security will escort you to clear your offices. Your termination packages, far more generous than the one you intended for me, will be handled by HR. You're firing everyone? My father asked, incredulous. Not everyone, I replied. Just the board. Oh, and Dad, that corner office you cherish? Have it cleared by noon. I'm redesigning it for our new chief technology officer, a brilliant woman you rejected for being too disruptive. As security entered the boardroom, I gathered my belongings. Patricia, please distribute the press release announcing our new board structure and digital transformation initiative. And call Alice Chen. Tell her she starts as CTO on Monday. You'll regret this, my father called after me. I am the shareholders, I reminded him. My only regret is not doing this sooner. As I left the boardroom, phones buzzed with trading alerts. Anderson Global stock had surged 30% on news of the acquisition. By the end of the day, it would climb 50%. In the elevator to my new office, the CEO's office, I checked my messages. Mom had called twice. My sister Emma, Dad's favorite and head of legal compliance, was likely scrambling to draft countermeasures to challenge the takeover. Too late. I'd spent 3 years orchestrating this, building quantum edge while they underestimated me, moving pieces while they dismissed me as the family failure. My phone buzzed again. CNBC wanted an interview. Young hedge fund manager orchestrates billion-dollar takeover. The subtitle read, Sarah Anderson becomes youngest female CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I smiled, stepping into my new office. Manhattan skyline stretched before me, and somewhere in Midtown, my father was likely dialing every lawyer he knew. Let him try. I owned his company, his board seats, and his beloved corner office. Not bad for a disappointment. The next morning, Anderson Global's lobby was a frenzy. News crews crowded outside the glass doors, their satellite trucks clogging Wall Street. Inside, security struggled to maintain order as employees arrived, many clutching boxes of personal items, unsure of their job status. I watched via the executive elevator's camera feed on my phone. Patricia, ensure everyone below VP level knows their jobs are safe, I instructed. And have HR send the enhanced benefits package announcement by 10 a.m. Already done, she replied, ever efficient. Also, your father's lawyer has called 6 times, demanding an emergency shareholder meeting. I grinned, stepping into my new office, once Dad's hallowed domain. The stuffy oil paintings were gone, replaced by digital screens displaying real-time market data. Remind them that, as 73% shareholder, I've declined the meeting request. My phone buzzed. Emma, my perfect sister, Harvard Law grad, always Dad's favorite. I let it go to voicemail. Ms. Anderson, Patricia appeared in the doorway. The remaining executives are gathered in conference room A, and your mother is here. I paused, surprised. Mom hadn't stepped foot in Anderson Global since the divorce a decade ago. Send her in. She entered moments later, elegant in Chanel, her expression unreadable. Nice office, she remarked, surveying the space. Though the tech makes it feel more like a space station than a bank. Banking is technology now, I replied. That's what Dad never grasped. She sat, crossing her legs carefully. Your father called me last night. He was beside himself, upset that his plan to fire me failed, or upset that his country club cronies now report to his reckless daughter. Sarah, she sighed. Was it really necessary to take over the entire company? I pulled up our performance charts on the wall screen. Look at these figures, Mom. Under Dad's leadership, we were fading into obscurity. While fintech firms revolutionized the industry, he was still boasting about handshake deals and 3 martini lunches. And quantum edge, she said. 3 years, you kept that hidden. Had to, I shrugged. If Dad knew I was running a hedge fund, he'd have done everything to sabotage it, just like he undermined every idea I pitched here. My phone buzzed again, Emma's third call. Mom noticed. Your sister's worried. The legal department's in disarray. The legal department propped up Dad's outdated practices. They're first on my restructuring list. Ms. Anderson, Patricia's voice came through the intercom. The executives are getting impatient. And Goldman Sachs is on line 1 about merger rumors. Mom raised an eyebrow. Merger rumors? Quantum Edge didn't just buy Anderson Global for revenge, I said, standing. We bought it because with proper leadership and tech integration, it's worth 10 times its current value. Goldman wants to discuss financing for our expansion plans. Sarah Lauren Anderson, Mom said, using my full name for the first time since I was 12, what exactly are you planning? Before I could respond, Emma burst in, her designer suit slightly rumpled. This is madness, she declared. Do you have any idea what you're doing to this company? To our family? Our family? I laughed. You mean the family that made me report to my younger cousin because Dad didn't trust me with major accounts? The family that rejected every modernization idea I proposed. Those ideas were reckless, Emma snapped. Driven trading algorithms, blockchain-based settlements, automated risk assessment. Dad was safeguarding the company. No, he was safeguarding his ego. I displayed more data. Look at these numbers, Emma. While you were head of legal, we lost 40% of our under 40 clients to fintech startups. Ms. Anderson, Patricia interrupted again. Goldman's holding, and the executives tell Goldman I'll call back, I directed. And inform the executives their meeting is now with our new Chief Innovation Officer. Mia's presenting our digital transformation roadmap, Mia Rodriguez. Emma's eyes widened. The whistleblower who exposed trading violations at First Capital? Dad blacklisted her. Dad blacklisted her because she threatened his cozy ties with First Capital's board. I hired her because she's brilliant and gets where banking's headed. Mom stood, smoothing her skirt. Sarah, whatever you're planning is already underway. It is, I finished. As we speak, our AI trading system is integrating with our risk management platforms. By market close, we'll process trades 300 times faster than last week. The regulatory implications alone, Emma began, are covered. I cut her off. Unlike Dad, I actually read the SEC's fintech guidelines. We're fully compliant. In fact, I checked my watch. The SEC chairman's calling in an hour to discuss using our system as a model for modernizing trading regulations. Emma sank into a chair, her legal mind finally comprehending the scope of my plan. This isn't just about taking over Anderson Global, is it? You're reinventing it. Anderson Global is history, I said flatly. Next week, we rebrand as Quantum Financial Technologies. The merger rumors Goldman's calling about? We're not merging. We're acquiring our competitors. My phone buzzed, Dad's number this time. On my screens, our stock price climbed as merger speculation spread. The board meeting yesterday wasn't just about firing you, Emma said quietly. Dad was going to name me his successor. I know, I replied. Just like I knew about the termination plan 3 months ago. Why do you think I timed Quantum Edge's share acquisition to the minute? Mom looked between us. Decades of family dynamics shifting in real time. Your father won't stop fighting this, she warned. Dad can fight all he wants. I own 73% of voting shares, our tech patents, and as of an hour ago, the Anderson family name in all financial contexts. I turned to Emma. By the way, the legal department restructuring starts today. Your replacement arrives at noon. You're firing me too? No, I'm promoting you. You're brilliant, Emma, when you're not Dad's puppet. If you want it, you're the new Chief Legal Innovation Officer, reporting to me. But it means actually reading fintech regulations instead of blocking everything that scares the old guard. Emma blinked, caught off guard. Before she could reply, Patricia entered with a tablet. Final numbers from yesterday. Stock up 78% on acquisition news. Trading volume at a company record. Oh, and your father's in the lobby with his lawyers. I smiled, turning to Mom and Emma. Stay if you want to see the show. Dad's about to learn his little girl didn't just take his company. She's reshaping the industry he thought he owned. Ms. Anderson, Patricia asked, should I remind security about your father's revoked access? No, I said. Let him come. He should see what his irresponsible daughter has done. The lobby feed showed Dad with his lawyers. Meanwhile, our stock price climbed higher. By the time he reached me, he'd learn I hadn't just outmaneuvered him. I'd rebuilt the industry he dominated for 40 years. He stormed down the hall with 3 lawyers, employees watching nervously from their desks. I stayed calm, reviewing data. Mom and Emma sat beside me, waiting. "This ends now," Dad shouted. "I have court orders from Judge Harrison." "Your old golf buddy?" I cut in. "He has no power here." Patricia handed the lawyers tablets. "Anderson Global is now registered in Delaware. Those New York orders are irrelevant." The lead lawyer frowned. "That's impossible. The board must approve." "I own 73%, I said. "I am the board." Dad's face reddened. "You think you can just—" "I already have." I activated the wall screens, data flooding the displays. "Our AI trading system processed more trades in 1 hour than you did in a quarter." "AI trading is risky," Dad argued. "Not with 278 patents," I countered. "Patents your company desperately needs." The lawyer tried to propose a compromise. I stopped him. "Last time, you advised Dad to slash my budget and plot against me. I knew everything. Why do you think Quantum Edge bought shares through shell companies?" My phone buzzed. Goldman Sachs again. The stock hit another record. "You clung to the past," I told Dad. "I built the future." "What announcement?" Dad frowned. Patricia entered. "Bloomberg's running it now." The screen flashed breaking news. Anderson Global merges with Quantum Edge, valued at $100 billion. Dad sank into a chair. Emma whispered, "That's impossible." "It's what happens when you merge clients with technology," I said. Lawyers whispered in panic as the stock rose higher. "Ms. Anderson," Patricia announced, "the Fed and SEC are on the line. The Chinese delegation is waiting." "China?" Mom asked. "Yes," I said. "They want our systems across Asia." "You're selling to China?" Dad asked. "No," I replied. "I'm selling globally. Anderson's old systems are shutting down now." Emma stayed. "You planned every detail." "The board will fight you," Dad said. "What board?" I pulled up the new org chart. "Meet the experts who replaced them." The lawyer sighed. "Mr. Anderson, she controls everything." Dad snapped. "What do you want? Money? Title?" I laughed. "I run a $100 billion company. I don't need your scraps." "Then why?" he demanded. "To save this company before it dies." My phone buzzed. The White House. "Patricia," I said, "escort them out. Revoke Dad's access." "This isn't over," Dad warned. "It is," I said. "At midnight, Anderson Global is gone. My future begins." Security led them away. I turned to the lawyers. "Your services are no longer needed." To Emma, I said, "The job I offered starts now. You'll work for me, not Dad." She hesitated, then nodded. "Ms. Anderson," Patricia returned, "the Fed is holding, and CNBC wants an exclusive." I watched Dad leave, his legacy crumbling. "Sarah," Mom said, "he may never forgive you." "Maybe not," I replied, watching the stock soar. "But history will remember this day." Emma whispered, "You're going to change everything." "No," I smiled. "I already have." If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to my channel for more exciting content.